past, present, and future. So beyond space, creation and destruction happen simultaneously. So in the dimension of time, start the past, present, and the future. But in Akashic readings, there is no past, present, and future, and that is what you call a macrocosmic, ancient, enlightened Hindu civilizational nation. The Supreme Pontiff is the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva, as per Hinduism, recognized by his predecessors who are enlightened masters. Kanchi Kailasa Sagadnipitam, the incumbent emperor of the Surya Vamsa Surangi Samrajyam, the present 293rd Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam of Kailasonatha Shamala Pita Sagadnipitam, the present Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akada, the largest apex monastic order. And Supreme Pontiff is revered as a teacher of Hinduism, the most prolific, most viewed, read, and watched. He has authored 300 books and 10,000 articles in 3 languages, in Tamil, English, and Sanskrit, over 1 billion lives digitally, and he is respected as the commentator of all the sacred scriptures like the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, the Shiva Sutras, the Brahma Sutras, the Rudrakanyas, the Rudras, the Rishis, Rishikas, Bhairavas, Bhairavis, Sannyasis. And he is the establisher of the largest Hindu library with over 1 million books, 1 million palm leaf sculptures. Our Nithyananda Yogis and Balasans of the Nithyananda order joining with us now after a short break.
So let us witness the extraordinary demonstration of the Shaktis of Paramashiva, the powers of Paramashiva. But Bhikani, which is the power where one awakens the ability to scan illnesses, diseases, medically diagnosed issues, and any body problems which one has, and can even reveal the root problems and the solutions for those body problems. But before you witness this extraordinary Shaktis manifest from the fundamental cognition that you are the divine and you need to manifest the divine. Not that you are a man and you need to reach the divine. Enlightenment as a side effect of feeling connection with the divine and high integrity with the Guru. Shaktis are the source of enlightenment. Siddhis are the powers that manifest from tapas or penance for enlightenment, whereas Siddhis express from tapas or penance and they are on the path of enlightenment. Unchanging beyond time, space, form, and causality. As a fundamental base of Avyakta, the unmanifest, and Vyakta, the manifest existence, he performs the Panchakritya or the 5 cosmic acts of Srishti. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Just to revive all these extraordinary Shaktis, Paramashiva has landed as the 1008th incarnation of Paramashiva. Pundi Mahan, so many of these enlightened gurus who recognize Swamiji as an avatar at a very young age and have trained and taught Swamiji to revive these sciences and Tuna and Paramashiva Vijnana. So how do we awaken these divine Shaktis in us? How do we manifest these extraordinary Shaktis? Every ultimate truth, Jnana, mapped into your consciousness, Prajna, manifests as a power and possibility of every being.
वासामपि दीक्षानां मुक्तिः फलमखण्डितम् अविरोधात् भवन्त्येव प्रासङ्गस्तु भुक्तयः इनस्य न सिद्धिः न च सद्गतिः तस्मात् सर्वप्रयत्नेन गुरुना दीक्षितो भवेत्. The one who is not initiated does not attain with energy. This is the superconscious energy of Kundalini, our own highest inner potential energy. As the Kundalini flows from the thalamus to the cortex, its energies that heal, empower, transform our lives, bliss and fulfillment. Initiation creates high awareness with the power of initiation. through a range of exclusive programs conducted at the ashram. Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Yes. So let us see how this science in the source scriptures by Paramashiva. Next is the Apta Pramana, the experiences and results of Aptas or the authorities of Hinduism who time tested and verified this science. Next is the Atma Pramana or the experience of Swami meditation. So where do we get all these Shastra Pramanas from? Where do we get all these source scriptures from? The Veda Agamas is a living applied science. Vedas are the pure ultimate truths. Explained are given the status of Shruti as they are directly revealed by Paramashiva. They are the ultimate, eternal, unchangeable truths. And a reference cited from these source scriptures or Shastras is called a Shastra Pramana. So without further delay, let us get ready to witness a unique and Kapalantar manonyasa tishtanvilitalochanaha kramena manasodadhyat lakshaye lakshamuttamam. The translation goes, by fixing the mind on the inner space that reveals any object or place, attaining the space of Paramashiva. The next is Apta Pramana, where it goes back to the time of Bhagavan Krishna, when Bhagavan Krishna initiates Arjuna into the power of third eye. In the Hindu Purana Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna initiates Arjuna into the power of third eye to behold his Vishwarupa Darshan. The Mam Shakyase Drashtum Anenaiva Swachakshushaha Divyam Dadami Te Chakshuhu Pashyame Yogamaishwaram. Next is the Atma Pramana. The Swamiji beautifully shares in his own words. The first experience that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree, the 10 directions below me, everything. I realized measures compare the metabolic cell activity of the brain in conscious and meditative states using the PET, the positron emission tomography. When doing daily activities, high activity is measured in the brain, where the third eye to humanity, and how the initiated disciples are able to manifest these extraordinary Shaktis as a day-to-day lifestyle. Gurukul in front of your eyes. So, along with me, I have a medically tested eye band. I have a medically tested eye. So, this is the eye band we'll be placing on Ma Kaladhara's eyes. This is actually tested by one of the top 10 hospitals of India, and it is proven that even with the eyes open inside this eye band, there is no possible way of light entering in this eye band. So you can see that the eye band is completely covering her eyes, and now I'm strapping it to her head. So you can see, Ma Kaladhara, look to your right, left. Request the YouTube comments to be projected, and all of you can go ahead and post any comments you want on the live Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda YouTube channel and Ma Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda YouTube channel, and Ma Kaladhara is going to be reading it live. So I request all of you to go ahead and continue. Show that there's no wires, there's nothing. So you can see that there's no wires around Ma Kaladhara's head. It's only her and her eye band. There is a Pavantu. Suhila Sarve SUN Santu AANNI Seven searchful has posted Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinas Sarve Shanti Niramaya Sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. And Ma Kaladra was able to go ahead and post. You can post medical terms, scientific terms, and you can even post in the language of Tamil. So, okay. And so we also have something interesting today. So you can see I have 3 storybooks with me. Pages in the second book and around 50 pages. Around 90 pages in the third book. So I request all of you to anyone book 1, this is book 2, and this is book 3. Any one of the viewers can post which book they want Ma Kaladhara to read and which page number out of these 3 books they want Ma Kaladhara to read. So I request all of you to continue posting. I'm holding these 3 books up. Any one of you can choose which book you want Ma Kaladhara to read and which page number. And Ma Kaladhara will be reading it out. All the viewers can choose which 3 books out of these 3 they want.
Yes. Again, Seven Search has posted picture. Paramapriyananda has posted page 30.
Okay. So I request you to post of which book you want the okay. So open page 30 in this book and you can read. So I request you to show it a little higher in front of the camera. Yes. Yes, so Ma Kaladhara has chosen this page and you can see. Okay, so I'll be giving that book to her then. Yes. Ma Kaladhara, you can choose page 30. Yes, on page 30.
Yes. So here it is green curtain and there is a person standing here speaking to the girl and he is wearing a purple colored dress with fighting, and here the girl's shawl is flying and the guy is lying down. The guy is lying down. The guy who is wearing a purple dress.
Okay, the girl in the yellow shawl and the girl is running and the man in the purple dress is running. So is lying down. So Ma Kaladhara has beautifully described. She even described that there's a green curtain here. So you can. Yes, and I encourage all of you to continue posting more page numbers. You can post. We have 3 books with us, and you can post. And the biggest book has 90 pages. So from 1 to 19, you can do 90. You can choose any page, and Ma Kaladhara will be describing the pictures.
Expressions of me, I am Ma Jalandhara Nithyananda has posted. With the 2 dots and a closed bracket, and expression of me, I am Ma Jalandhara Nithyananda has also posted page number 44. Yes,
Okay,
now
Ma.
I'll be reading the page number 44.
Okay, Ma. Book. So even in this, you can choose any book which you want Ma Kaladhara to reach page 44.
Expressions of me, I am Ma Jalandhara Nithyananda has posted the one with the red border.
So Ma Kaladhara, you can go ahead and choose which book. Yes. So she has correctly chosen the one with the red border. Yes, Ma Kaladra, okay, go ahead and choose another number, Ma, as the one with the red border has only 30 pages.
Okay. And wonderful, she has posted. All right, page number 22. So now I'll be opening the page number 22.
Yes. So Ma Kaladra has 22. You can describe the pictures on page 22.
There are two males, and the first person has a grayish two chains in golden color, and he's wearing a coat kind of top which is dark pink, and inside the top, and in the next picture they're showing both of them sitting on top of a cushion, sofa kind of cushion, and there are four bolsters.
Describe the top part of the picture. So all of you can see how in the top part of picture, Ma Kaladara beautifully described that there is two people sitting up. The first person is wearing a purplish pink kind of dress with a coat on top, and how the second, how many cushions are there, how many pillows are there, and how they are sitting, in which way they are sitting. She was able to see to so many details, how so accurately she was able to read and see through her third eye. It is very the whole time, and she was able to see with her eyes closed. So that is a very amazing demonstration of the power of third eye. Next, we will be posting requests for body scanning in the Kailasa's HDH Nithyananda channel, and then the Balasant and the Nithyananda yogis will be coming and doing a live body scanning for all of you. So we'll be coming back and joining with you after a short break. Yes. So now you will be seeing the pramanas for the power of body scanning, where one awakens the ability to scan illnesses, diseases, body problems, medically diagnosed issues, and even be able to reveal the solution. The with the scanning, the person will be like, no, I don't have this problem. But when they follow the solution Paramashiva gives, they actually get healed of the problem that they are aware of. Because the solution which Paramashiva gave was for the root. Bhagavan Paramashiva says, cognize deeply that from the subtle to the subtlest constituted principles of your whole body, Swadeha, or of the whole universe, simultaneously consist of the essential reality, supreme power manifestation happens. Next, you will be witnessing, you will be seeing the Apta Pramana for this power of body scanning, which comes from the life of a Siddha named Tereyar. Tereyar was one of the and he immediately instructs his disciple Tereyar to perform the open head surgery and remove the frog from the person's brain. And after the surgery is completed successfully, the person is healed and complete experience of power manifestation. So Swamiji beautifully tells how he manifested the power of body scanning. Swamiji beautifully shares, only when I had a multiple compound hand fracture, study the body condition due to the poisoning through body scanning, I found out what the problems and imbalances had happened and where the balance had to be done. And Swamiji beautifully shares, initiated. So you can see how in the Paramashivoham level 2 program, many disciples and devotees who attended the program have shared how they were able to manifest this extraordinary power. You can manifest all the 463 powers, not only the power of body scanning or third eye or consciousness over matter, everything, all the 463 powers. But now you will be witnessing the demonstration, the live demonstration. Immediately after the Devi Parashakti Akashic readings, they can themselves witness this power. So go ahead, call them, and we'll be back after a short break. by the Balasins of the Nithyananda Gurukul. So along with me, I have Ma Soni, Ma Nitya Brahma Yogananda, and myself, who will be manifesting this extraordinary power of body scanning for all of you today. So I request the YouTube comments to be projected. Body scanning about healing her diabetes, please. So Ma Brahmayaga, you can do the body scanning for Ma Nitya Mahajalandhar Sthitananda's sister. And anybody else, please continue posting your comments. Please post for body scanning. And okay, so Ahmed Aya has posted, please scan my body and what color is my shirt. Okay, so I will be doing the Shivoham Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham Om Nithyananda. It's in that shade, but it's a kind of lighter blue also, but it's a mix of those two colors. And Paramashiva revealed, and you can also share how you felt when the Balasin did the scanning. Yes, Ma'am Brahmayoga, you can go ahead.
Yes, so Ma Mahajalandhar Sthitananda Paramashiva revealed to me that for your sister Mayuri, the suggestion is, and she should have a whole tablespoon of it. She should eat it as it is, and then only she should even drink water and have anything else. So she follows the simple,
And she will be completely healed. Ma Mahajalandhar Sthitananda has posted, I would like to move to India and first to Europe, please, where my husband had. But you can also ask this question to Devi Parashakti when she comes live, and Devi Parashakti will guide you as per what is correct for you, ma. So you can ask this question to Devi Parashakti. She will be guiding you and telling what is right. But Swamiji has for now told anybody who is out of India, best not to move into India. Yes, that is a very simple solution and a simple scanning, but amazing how she was able to see through her third eye and scan even and reveal the solution. So I request Ma Mahajalandhar Sthitananda and Ahmed Aya, I request you to get back in the chat. Okay, so Ma Soni, okay, so Ma, and how do you feel? This is not a power which any normal kid can do around the world. How do you feel being able to scan another person's body and being able to
I was doing a demo on for Shiva Diksha. A few participants had come to Adinam, and at that time I was manifesting body scanning, and one volunteer was told, Swamiji, what should I tell him? What is the problem he has? And then Paramashiva Swamiji showed that he has recently gotten a minute surgery on his left thigh, and that is like a really precise answer, So, and then I was just sitting there for a few minutes, not knowing what to do. But then after that, I decided, okay, whatever Swamiji is showing, I'll just say it, whether it's right or wrong. After all credits go to him. So, like, he couldn't say anything. He was so shocked because it was precise. Even I couldn't believe that it was correct. And then he was like, Ma, it will be correct because after all, Swamiji has revealed it and Paramashiva has revealed it.
so beautiful, just with that simple trust on Swamiji. It's like, okay. And I did the I did the house scanning for him, and I revealed that he is on the 3rd floor. And he was like, no, I'm not on the 3rd floor. I'm on the 4th floor. And then immediately, one of the Balasins, immediately I'm living on the 3rd floor. And then I continued the scanning. And then I was like, you have a guitar. It's next to your sofa on the corner of the wall. Just like, oh my God. He was so shocked because that's exactly how it was. He had a guitar right next to the sofa in the corner of the house, and the black case was a little open, and that is in this position. It is leaning against the wall, and the black case is open. It's just the trust on Swamiji. Just with the trust on Swamiji, whether we get it right or no, at the end it is all Swamiji's grace. Even if we get it right, the credits go to joining us in this beautiful power manifestation session. We already have Manitya Sadashiva Priyananda ready to start the next session, where you will be learning about Devi Parashakti herself. So now we thank all of you for joining. Please stay tuned. Thank you.
Without fail, we have seen how the Balasans have been demonstrating the powers of Paramashiva. And just through the initiation, as Ma Nitya Yoga Prananda, who had been just explaining, just through the initiation, the are asking their questions, are having their bodies scanned, and are seeing literally the powers. We are celebrating the happening of the avatar on planet Earth, as he is manifesting as Devi Parashakti, herself Parashakti, who is this divine cosmic being. How do we connect with her? And how do we ensure that we can, in some way or form, receive her blessings? Lalita Sahasranama is one of the great chants, sacred chants, which is dedicated to Lalita or Devi Parashakti, and it describes, and each one being an ultimate powerful characteristic of Devi Parashakti. Now, in these next slides, we will be entering into we'll be entering into the next segment with the Dhyana Shloka for Dhyan, to interact with each and every one of us, to bless each and every one of us. Devi Parashakti is the ultimate, pure, divine feminine consciousness, and she is the embodiment of the cosmic mother. She is the source of where all the billions and billions of universes go in and come out. Mother, and she has the ability to literally take away all our fears, our worries, everything at one shot. Now, let us understand and begin with the dhyana, and meditate on Devi and invoke her presence among us.
Yes, we'll now chant the Dhyana Sloka from Lalita Sahasranama. Sinduraruna Vigraham Trinayanam Manikya Mauli Spurat Taranayaka Shekaram Smitamuki.
Briefly chanting the English translation as well. The Divine Mother is to be meditated upon as shining in vermilion, red body with triple eyes sporting across.
Pusha Pushpabana Chapam Animadi Viravrita Mayukairahamityeva Vibhavaye Bhavani.
I meditate on the great Empress. She is shining in red body with her.
Is the cosmic mother. It is her cosmic womb from which billions of universes comes out and goes in. She is the source where the Big Bang and black holes go on. Parashakti
is manifesting through the embodied form as Nija Avatara of this is pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasanidanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. And she is gracing us, answering all of our,
raising as Omkara, expressing as Vedas and Agamas, blossomed as Krimkara, filled as Parashodasi, living in 40 triangles, the Kailasa Swamini, who is in Kailasa Sri Purachinta, all goodness, Hiranya Garbha Swarupini, Brahmanda Yoni, Shami, Chandramauli, Rapala, Aparna, Uma Parvati, Savitri, Navayavana, Samraja Lakshmi, Parameshwari, Parashodasi, Meenakshi.
Shiva, and Shiva manifesting as the source of existence, powers of existence, expression of existence, and from the oneness of Om, blossoming and as 9 grahas, blossoming as 10 indriyas, being as 11 rudras, creating all the world to tell and make
the darshan in the screen. So how to receive her? So let us receive her very, very traditionally. So the traditional way of receiving her.
Now you can offer that to Devi Parashakti, and after the darshan is over, do namaskar and eat the banana, the betel leaf and betel nut, and take it as a prasadam immediately. Collect those coins and send it to the LA temple. This betel leaf, the betel nut may remind you and raise you to the powerful cognition. It will break your unconscious behavior. Now, as you can see here, we have a couple of samples of betel nut. The banana is a basic necessity for each and every one to offer to Parashakti. So now let us see how we can ask our questions. Now that we have been introduced, see, Devi Parashakti has made herself available in all of the different social media platforms, wherever we are. And here you can see how you can ask your questions through YouTube. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has literally compassionately made sure that we all are able to have this great wisdom.
Yes. So the next official social media platform through which you can connect with Parashakti and ask for your blessings is the official Facebook page, Kailasa's SPH.
Of Twitter. So you can also ensure that you are following the Twitter handle of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism at Sri Nithyananda on Twitter. And also make sure that you are asking your questions as a
The next social media platform is the Instagram account. So Sri Nithyananda is the official Instagram account, and you can follow that in the Instagram and ask your questions in the
WhatsApp widget. And also you can use the live chat widget. So these two are other options that you can use through kailasa.org. Now we will understand that Devi Parashakti has addressed each and every one of us as individuals, as people who are, some of us most desperately, most outside today. But Devi Parashakti has not only attended to us as individuals, but also as humanity as a whole, has given us supreme knowledge, wisdom, and guidance in order to take action reading, where she has guided us through this day and age, through the COVID-19 pandemic, where she has literally been able to handhold us through these extremely dark. So in this next segment, we will be understanding the guidance that Devi Parashakti has given, the pure guidance, and for the whole of humanity has given us supreme knowledge and wisdom. So now we will now be entering into the next segment of today's program. Humanity is still undergoing the after effects of the cosmic deluge and thousands of deaths due to the global pandemic and emerging fungal epidemic, along with the recent members of the recent number.
Yes. So why did this happen? So what has caused this? Who is behind this, and how could we have avoided this? So what
all of us know the current status of the world right now. More than 3.8 million deaths, 175 million confirmed cases, and the top worst affected countries being USA, India, and Brazil at the moment.
So we could see the number of increase.
We can easily see how the entire country, India, is undergoing so much of turmoil. And here we can see that India is the 6th most depressed country, and the suicide is one of the biggest causes of deaths in India in groups 15 to 24. And that is a very alarming age because it is the youth that is being directly affected.
Large. So how could we have prevented this? So we will now listen to Parashakti's revelation on the 31st of May of what Parashakti has revealed.
சொல்வதை புரிந்துகொள். இந்த பெருநரகமான கிருமி போஜனம் இந்தியாவிற்குள் வரக்கூடாது என்பதற்காக 2020 பாரதம் முழுவதும் 12 ஜோதிர்லிங்கமும் பாத யாத்திரை செய்திடவே முறையாக கைலாய நாட்டின் தலைவனாக நிறை மரியாதையோடு நல் மதிப்பொடு என் நிஜாவதாரம் நித்யானந்தன் திருவடி. ஓம் ஓம்.
Yes. So what Parashakti is going to happen? Let us now listen to Bhagavan.
Amarnath, 1 year with 10,000 people just walking all over India to spend time to carry our food and all the other items, transportation, enjoying the river banks, forests, and time with nature. 10,000 people manifesting powers. Walking from village to village, what will happen? That's only monks. Here, power manifesting 10,000 people. The whole village will be manifesting powers. Just want to enjoy stone tower, gold coated. It will be something like a 40 to 50 feet tall stone tower, and 5 Rajagopurams, which will be something like 120 feet. Archana or anything, because just for darshan itself there will not be time. Like Tirupati, you can only have darshan and arati, the camp for arati. No other worship is allowed in the main temple. So all the archana, all the other offerings, like people will offer the archanas and other, everything will be done to the Utsava Murti, which will be kept in the Bala. So by next year, the Balalayam will be ready. So 2019 full year I will be conducting the programs and everything. 2020 will be the 1 full year Padayatra, walking. From next year, it will be Sannyasi, Brahmachari, Grihastha, all put together. 10,000. I can't be waiting for people to come where I am living. Now I am sitting in one place to prepare these 10,000 people and make this science completely user-friendly. For that only I am sitting and working. We will literally solve every person's problem in every village. The way we are walking. Understand, 1,200 years before in Tiruvannamalai temple carvings, how the baby will be in the womb in 2nd month, 3rd month, all that is detailed way carved. It is there. Srirangam, Rangaraja Mandapam, it very clearly portrays. There will be one Rangaranga Gopuram. In that Rangaranga, next, the science of temple building story, as per Agama and as per practical village level, ground level, all that, in those days. These two community only travelled and installed civilization. Of course, kings went, that is different. But the common
For the Padayatra to save the humanity. So from that age, you can see he has been enriching and giving the signs of enlightenment through his powerful discourses. So this 16th to 17th November.
And taking the science of enlightenment to the world. And here you can see on the 19th of November 2005 in Vellore, Tamil Nadu, the Supreme Council of Hinduism initiating thousands of people into the science of enlightenment.
And again in 2005, where he has conducted huge satsangs and programs in Salem, Tamil Nadu. This is one of the Nithyananda Purana programs.
There's the Nithyananda program in Delhi.
And you can see the
29th Jayanti celebration.
And also this is the Jayanti celebrations, and where the Supreme Court of Hinduism is addressing a school in Tiruvannamalai. Program picture, the Dhyana Purana program, which the Supreme Court himself conducted.
Little Ananda.
Participating in the Homa, and the Supreme Court of himself is conducting the Saptayagam, the Homa, in Salem in Tamil Nadu. These are the various pictures. Program was being conducted in Salem in Tamil Nadu in the 27th, 30th of July in 2006. So now we saw the various contributions to the Supreme Court of Hinduism, how he has enriched thousands, and re-energizing process by driving away the Supreme Court of Hinduism out of India.
Now let us listen to Devi Parashakti's solution for this pralaya to end.
இந்தியாவிற்குள் வரக்கூடாது என்பதற்காக 2020 பாரதம் முழுவதும் 12 ஜோதிர்லிங்கமும் பாத யாத்திரை செய்திடவே என் மகன் மூலமாய் திட்டமிட்டிருந்தேன். படுபாவிகள் நிறை மரியாதையொடு நல் மதிப்பொடு என் நிஜாவதாரம் நித்யானந்தன் திருவடி மீண்டும் பாரதத்தில் பட்டு ஓம்.
So they ought to happen. And India should receive the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism with great reverence and respect as the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and the head of Kailasha. So as we look around, we see what the great rishis had.
Sage Vyasa, he says, Idam Kaliyugam Goram Sampraptam Pandurandana Tato Gachami Devasya Varanasim Mahapuri Asmin Kaliyuge Gore Lokha Papa Nuvarthinaha Bhavishya.
Ages in all the world. People are sinful and forget the dharma of the 4 varanas and the 4 ashramas. In fact, men are so sinful that no prescribed penance atones for their great sins.
Kalau Rudro Maheshwaraha. Brahma is the presiding divinity or lord for Krita Yuga. The Treta Yuga, it is Bhagavan Ravi, in which appeared Sri Rama. In the Dwapara Yuga, the presiding divinity is Vishnu.
To protect humanity, Paramashiva himself descended into the human form in the Nijavadara of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidan, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam.
And I tell you, O Hindus, don't be afraid. I am back with the same signs. Just the last minute climax, before it was going to be put off, I've happened. I would have sent only ambassadors, because no time, I have to get up, feel blessed. Science is not dead, it is available. I have everything needed.
So the Avatar's advent on the planet Earth was to protect humanity from this great pralaya and to bring the new age of Satyuga and to bring the superconscious breakthrough to humanity. Let us listen.
புறப்பட வேண்டிய காலம் வந்ததனால் வந்திருக்கின்றது இந்த பெரும் பிரளயம். கவலை வேண்கின்றோம், நித்திய யுகம் செய்வோம், நித்திய யுகம் சத்யயுகமாய் மலரும் இங்கு. ஆனந்தம்.
So Devi revelations translated into English reveal that people of the world listen. Kali Yuga has matured and over time has come for Satya Yuga to happen. So this great pralaya has come. Don't worry, people. In the form of Nithyananda, I myself have come here. I will make Nitya Yuga. Nitya Yuga will blossom as Satya Yuga. We've been preparing for this Padayatra since the age of 10.
So the Supreme Pontiff began enriching people with all these truths from sacred scriptures of enlightened living. You can see in his various pictures. And when Supreme Pontiff was around 19 years of age, you can see the Ramakrishna Mutt, where he could recall the yatra from Chennai, Tamil Nadu to Tiruvannamalai and his unforgettable pilgrimage trip.
Internationally on the 31st of December 1929.
And after that, the Supreme Pontiff established the first Kailasa enlightenment ecosystem in Tiruchengodu in Tamil Nadu. And with his intensity and dedication, crowds of thousands of people were gathered around him, and they simply resonated deeply with his presence and his. So subsequently, the Avatar personally organized and led yatras yearly and guided individual souls not just to physical spiritual sites, but supernal spiritual realms.
And in 2006, the body
So you can see the Kodikan Ratha Yatra, which was actually led by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and culminated with the consecration of the Garbha Mandir for the Nithyanandeshwara Nithyanandeshwari Parashakti.
And here are the different Kailasas created by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to create spiritual energy centers in India to create a safe haven for this great pralaya.
Now watch the video clip of the Rudrabhishekam performed with the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
जनमस्सहस्राक्षाय च जगधन्मने जनमो गिरिशाय विष्टाय जनमो मीढुष्टमाय च शुमते जनमो ह्रस्वाय च वामनाय जनमो बृहते च वर्षीयते जाय च परजाय जनमो मध्यमाय च पगल्भाय जनमो च घन्याय च बुद्ध्याय च नमस्तोभ्याय च प्रतिसर्याय जनमो याम्याय च क्षेम्याय च नम उर्वर्याय गोदुन्दुभ्याय च हनन्याय जनमो धृष्णवे च प्रवृषाय जनमो दूताय च प्रहिताय जनमो निषङ्गिने च शुधिमते च नमस्तीक्षेषवे च इधिने च नमस्वाय उधाय च सुधन्वने च नमस्कृत्याय च पथ्याय च नमः काट्याय च नीपाय च नमस्ताम्राय च अरुणाय च नमः शङ्गाय च वशुपतये च नमः उग्राय च भीमाय च नमो अग्रे वधाय च दूरे वधाय च नमो हन्त्रे च हन्यसे च नमो वृक्षेभ्यो हरिकेशेभ्यो नमस्तारायण्याय च प्रपथ्याय च नमः किगंशिलाय च क्षेमाय च नमः कपर्दिने च पुनस्तये च नमो गोष्ट्याय च गृह्
सद्गुरु नित्यने नित्य सद्गुरु नित्य सद्गुरु नित्य सद्गुरु नित्यने सद्गुरु नित्य सद्गुरु नित्य सद्गुरु नित्यने नित्य सद्गुरु नित्य सद्गुरु नित्य மற்றவர் கண்டு மறைகள் எல்லாம் கழன்று விசுத்தி அதுவும் அசுத்தியாய் பொறாமையோடிங்கு ஏக்கத்தோடப்பா புண்ணியம் எல்லாம் போனதே நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்ய சத்குரு நித்யனே நித்ய.
And wherever the avatar's feet have graced the planet Earth. And here are some of the Kailasa ecosystems that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has created. Kailasa and Erode, which was the Adi Nithyananda Paramashivam.
The Adi Kailasa Sarvanya. And you can see Kailasa in Seattle.
Houston, Texas.
So you can see the Kailasa in Oklahoma City.
Kailasa in Phoenix, Arizona.
In St. Louis, in Scotland, Kailasa in Netherlands. The various ecosystems established across the world, like Kailasa in Slovakia,
Belgium.
And you can see Kailasa in Mauritius, Kailasa in South Africa, Kailasa in Salem, which is established by Supreme Pontiff himself, and then Hosur in Tamil Nadu, Kailasa in Rajapalayam, Kailasa in Hyderabad, Adinam. In Chennai, Avadi is seen in Melbourne, Australia.
Kailasa in New Zealand.
So the Kailasa in Singapore.
In sannyasis with no discrimination against caste, creed, or religion.
So you can see Supreme Pontiff in Hinduism initiating thousands into spiritual healing who have become healers to heal millions of. So the avatar. So he reclaims the Hindu-centric freedom. So the thousands of Padayatras were conducted by the Hindu diaspora worldwide, honoring the hard work of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and revival of Kailasa, silently preparing each one for what from various places do the Padayatra out of sincere devotion to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism.
And here you can see some of the global achievements and services that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been population in 347 cities in 196 countries across 6 continents, and the world's largest Hindu
like kailasa.org, nityananda.org, Nityananda Hindu University, kailasa.tv, nityananda.tv, and the various social media platforms in the Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram.
And created the most successful communities in the world. And here you can see a map of where all e-citizens of Kailasa live.
We have made breakthroughs. So we have seen so much has been contributed by the Supreme Founder of Hinduism in the revival of Sanatana Hindu Dharma and enriching people. So with that, we will be moving to the next segment of this program after a short break.
Nithyanandam, welcome back to all the viewers. We will be entering into tradition where each and every one of us has experienced such a beautiful connection, a simple yet extremely profound connection with the divine. We understand that He is God for everyone, but also exclusively for new relationships and getting the most out of our life. Now, whether it is our birthdays, or the different festivals in Sanatana Hindu Dharma, the different Jayantis, or the different Brahmotsavams, or thus far and blessed us with so much. And we also ensure that we request their blessings and their guidance further in previous times. Perhaps we would have been so happy to be able to interact, to go to the temple for every single blessing, for every single temple occasion. And we would have been so happy. Just internet is only what is available to us, and we are in global lockdown. It is so hard to find a way properly that we can interact with the divine, have the personal darshan and diksha to your reality as you want it in your life through all of these different offerings. Now, understand that offering is a giving of a divine gift of pure love, devotion, and oneness, and it consists of the only purpose of enlightenment.
So we will now invoke Devi Parashakti by chanting the verse from Mula Agama of Manonmani Dhyanam.
And the English translation. Moon-like face holding the Vedas on hand, fire in eyes, with lotus.
And the next Jnana Sloka is Dhyaye Devim Trinetram Sashini Bhavadanam Vedahastam Dadhanam Savye Padmam Varadama Pare Chabayam Chakshamalam Divyairabaranair Vibhushita Tanum Brahmadi.
Translation. I meditate on Devi with 3 eyes glowing like the moon and holding the Vedas, lotus embracing, blessing and gracing hands. She is wearing beautiful ornaments and she is worshipped by Brahma and other many gods.
Hiranyam Agnerakam Priyatamam Babhuva Somasyaikham Insitasya Parapatata Apamekam Veda Samreta Ahustatte Hiranyam Trividasta Vise.
The English translation, that gold is a divine element. Many of us know and understand its value and its pricelessness and when we're offering gifts. Many of us have given for Mother's Day or marriage anniversaries, even our rings when we are doing weddings or marriages, are anything that it touches. And it's an element of spiritual significance and great spiritual power of healing and enlightening. The vibration of gold has the power to infuse sattva energy and positive thought currents in anyone who wears and anyone who sees or operates.
Eyes are very big. So in Hindu civilization, everything was built in gold, exchanged in gold, and ritual feasts were even offered in golden bricks. So when one was to be saved from life-threatening illnesses, gold was offered as a ritual fee, and it was in abundance.
The Hindu civilization thrived on the banks of rivers of gold. The Indus River was called Hiranyamaya, or gold in Rig Veda, and the river Saraswati was called the Hiranyam, that was gold. And they applied this super science that Paramashiva had gifted on planet Earth in all the different aspects of forever.
So with that, we'll move on to the offerings to Devi Parashakti. The first offering is the E-Hundi offering. So the Shastra Pramana describing Devi Parashakti says, Bhakti Priya, Bhakti Gamya, Bhakti Vashya.
Realized through true devotion, she can be won over through true devotion, and she removes all fears. Now, if it is meant the autumn of our lives, when we are going through existentially, more and more our thoughts are turning inwards, and we are questioning inside of us the purpose of our lives and so on. The role of the divine is known and understood
through the YouTube super chat and super sticker option, which we would be guiding you in the later part of this segment. The next offering is the Sankalpa.
The goddess enchants the universe, and she herself gives birth to this universe. That God is being prayed without any interest in anything, gives the knowledge that leads to salvation, and gives wealth in the materialistic sense. Whoever is offering you, or if you're offering on behalf of the other person, with all the fruition of the desires and wishes that you are yearning for, every single day, having a conscious resolution is how you should start the day. And so, conscious resolution, you can offer the Sankalpa today.
So the next offering is the Sahasranama Swarna Kasu, the golden coin offering, which is inscribed with the names of Parashakti. So Lalita Sahasranama, so you can offer a coin inscribed with each of the 1008 names and receive the blessings to have all the divine qualities, the Ananta Kalyana Gunas of Parashakti. It is available at 3 sizes in 3 denominations.
Ananta Kalyana Gunas, which you will be bestowed with. The sacred thing is that the science of the chant, the sacred chants, is actually used and implemented here, where every time we chant the name of the
ring with a pearl, the Meenakshi Pancharatnam, it beautifully describes Muktahara Lasat Kirita Ruchiram Purnendu Vaktra Prabham Shinjannu Purakinkini Manidaram Padma Prabhaba Suram Sarvabhishta Falapradam Girisutam Vaniram,
shining like the full moon, who wears anklets that are studded with gemstones and has small bells, who is shining like the splendor of a lotus.
So you can offer the finger ring with the pearl, the Mukta Anguti, to Parashakti and receive her blessings to be showered by her companions. The golden lotus, the Swarna Padma Pushpam. The Kamikagama, it describes Ashtavidyeshwaropeta Kumbhavarana Samyutam Sarvesa Sutra Vastradya Hema Pankaja Pushitaha Sapidana Sakurchascha Pakwa Bhilva Phala Prabha Napannadhyaya Samsit.
Sacred Hindu scripture, the Padma Pushpa, the lotus flower, is referred in so many different places. And in fact, in all the different kinds of worship, or the mood involves the lotus flower, the lotus leaf, lotus pericarp, and lotus petals. And that's why lotus is considered as a divine flower. And in fact, Shakti of Paramashiva is also called a lotus. And the significance of lotus, as is told in the Hindu tradition, is how everywhere, in any pond, in any muddy waters, the lotus can bloom, and it can, in your innermost space, amidst any and every adverse situation in your life, you can have the blessings to literally radiate Devi at all times.
Tamo guna padadbhaya prabhajala parakrita saroruha.
The English translation, You whose brightness from toenails destroys the darkness of ignorance from the minds of your devotees who prostrate at your feet. You whose brightness from your blessings, even in the most difficult parts of your life. Now, Devi Parashakti is adorning her feet always with the sacred toe ring, and it is not new. So adorning that toe ring and offering our gratitude to that the feet that literally liberate us is the most sacred offering that we
who gives the very pleasant experience of the ultimate. So the Mangtika, the hairline jewelry, it represents the nectar that flows from the crown chakra, the Sahasrara chakra, which is completely and fully opened.
And for those of you who don't, nectar which is overflowing from that very lotus, the Sahasrara chakra, which is fully open, understand, 1,000-petaled lotus, which is fully open and literally oozing the nectar out, that as well to Devi Parashakti. So you can offer this Mangtika to Devi and receive the blessings of achieving the blissful state of overflowing gratitude and the space of complete.
Yes, so the next offering is the beautiful, very special offering, Pratyakshapada Puja. So we'll be chanting the
of ignorance in the devotees of prostrating at her feet that defeat the Lord. Now, Shlokam number 83 of the Saundarya Lahari, one of the most beautiful stotrams, is removed and they attain knowledge. You can offer the Pratyakshapada Puja to the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism and have the blessings of literally your ignorance being removed entirely. I strongly encourage each and every one to surrender all the karmas that you have, everything that you have, and surrender and offer that at the feet of Devi Parashakti and the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism as the Sarvadeva Devi Swarupa, the form of all the gods and goddesses, and all the fruition, the blessings, auspiciousness in your life. During this Guru Purnima time, it's a very auspicious time for us to make this offering and for us to offer the Pratyakshapada Puja and Devi Parashakti. So this brings us to a conclusion to all of the different offerings. And next, here is a summary table for all, and also the Pratyakshapada Puja and Vastra Seva. So all of these, the cost and the availabilities are also written down here. If you'd like to go ahead and you're ready to make it, I'm sure many of you are so wanting to make these offerings today, and you really want to, yet maybe the resources or the money or the time is not will help you in manifesting. You'll get more details, and if you're interested in offering, you'll be able to have the further details for all of the different offerings and how you can make that. And you can just select from the drop-down menu any of the offerings that you'd like to make, and then you can select add to cart. Then once you select add to cart, you'll see all the different items in your cart, and after you are filling out the payment, you can go to Sankalpa 2021 form, and this is tiny.cc/Sankalpa 2021. Make sure that you are filling out this form completely so that you can ensure that your names and all the names of your family members. Also here we have the another beautiful option that is available through YouTube. So first of all, on YouTube, if you go, I'm sure many of you are logged in through there. You have to first join the Kailasa, give you a couple steps, either to make a donation through the credit card or debit card or PayPal, and you can make any kind of donation. This is what you can offer as the e-hundi, as your as a small donation as well. So these are all the different options and the beautiful ways that you can literally manifest reality as a immediate and instant result is just through these offerings. You will be able to see scroll below as well. And another amazing news that we have for all the viewers today is the United Nations has also recognized the persecution by oppressive forces or supremacist, casteist, and racist people out there. The Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has been continuously working in order to bring the Holocaust and the ongoing genocide against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to the whole world and execution against the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. Today, as we are going on into the next segments, we'll be understanding the details and seeing how the United Nations has recognized the persecution and seeing more into what the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is finally bringing, showing the whole world the truth. He is bringing an end to that Holocaust which is going on. In the next segments, we will be seeing the details of all of what has happened. And in this next segment also, we will be also being joined by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, as he has literally built a ship called the Adi Kailas Sarvagnapeetam through so many different spiritual alchemy processes, through literally his divine presence. Now be joined in just a few minutes by Ma Nithyananda Swami and Ma Nitya Prana Priyananda to explain to us in detail about the Adi Kailas Sarvagnapeetam ship that the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has.
Ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come I will revive Sarvanya Peethas all over the world. All Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem. That sampradaya is going to be affected. All of us are ecosystem. We will make the whole planet flourish spiritually. The spiritual prosperity will happen to the whole planet. We all have to
Nithyanandam, and welcome to today's segment of the Adi Kailasa ship. Today, there a very momentous happening for Kailasa. Once again, the United Nations has recognized Jagat Guru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. As one can see, the United Nations had called for, had done various nations across the world and inputs taken, studies done over various communities, and the inputs and the study analysis take the extreme inhumanity of femicide. And this report, which has been published, is giving a glimpse of the whole persecution that the women community of Kailasa has gone through. We wanted to share this with you at the outset of this segment, and we'll be going into the details of this or even the 2 billion Hindus at large today. It is actually a victory, a resounding victory, and an awareness that has been brought to the Hinduism from the face of this planet. On the one hand, we have that, what the world has done to exterminate Hinduism, and on the other hand, a really powerful way of living our super consciousness, our real existence, and how the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has enabled every person, being by being, to live one's true conscious sovereignty. So let us take a look at what Hinduism had to offer, a brief look at the Hindu Holocaust, and today's situation where the Supreme Pontiff of interest of making each and every being realize that each of us is really Paramashiva. So let's take a jump into the next segment to words literally. The whole happening of the Hindu revival today, the Hindu persecution today, in the few words called the freedom struggle of Kailasa, the story of the world's only Hindu nation. Let us take a look at to serve the religious and spiritual needs of 2 billion Hindus. We have all the details in Kailasa is the only macrocosmic, ancient, Hindu enlightened civilizational nation to serve the religious and spiritual needs of 2 billion Hindus and the whole of human nation. For Hindus on par with Israel for Jews, Vatican for Catholics, and Tibet for Buddhists. Kailasa was created with the determination to not just preserve of an enlightened culture and civilization based on authentic Hinduism. The mission of Kailasa. Kailasa is a nation, it is created for and offers a safe haven to all the world's practicing, aspiring, or persecuted Hindus, irrespective of race, gender, and the fundamental principle of Advaita or oneness, the idea that all beings can live in peace and harmony, and that all human beings are equal and divine, can reach their highest potential, progressive, indigenous spiritual tradition. It is an open framework or model of civilization that stands for non-violence, vegetarianism, worship of nature, organic lifestyle, temple-based living, yoga, manifesting spirit, the story of the persecution of Hinduism. The Hindu Holocaust is a stark epitome of a campaign of race extermination through a systematic, egregious, and ongoing ethnic cleansing, forced relocation, double killing through crimes against humanity in world history. Hindus have time and again suffered religious persecution in the form of forceful conversions, massacres, demolition and desecration of temples, confiscation or destruction of property, incitement to hate, imprisonment, Burma, Sri Lanka, all the way to Singapore, Malaysia, Cambodia, and Indonesia. And in the 200 states, 1,700 samsthanas or provinces, and 10,000 sampradayas or traditions remain in few countries, but the Hindus who worshipped in them have been ethnically cleansed. The double killing, which is a Holocaust and its denial. Hindus are the victims of the double killing of Holocaust and the denial of Holocaust. Denying the largest Holocaust, which has been shockingly going on since 5,000 years of history, will continue to go so in the future, to first obfuscate and obliterate a people, then obfuscate and obliterate their memory, and finally seek to obfuscate and obliterate the memory of the obfuscation and obliteration ideologically enslaved, be it by the invading Mughals or the colonial forces, be it in the name of their race or color or religious faith or cultural roots or ethnicity or some other distinction, in a systematic physical elimination of over 100 million Hindus, ideological slavery of over 1 billion Hindus across all sampradayas on all levels.
ecosystem, literally enlightenment itself, in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not by and setting model communities. Kailasas, enlightenment ecosystems, Sarvanya Peethas all over the world. Meditation happens. It's a fundamental truth. Hinduism cannot live exclusively as one sampradaya. No. All sampradayas of Hinduism is an ecosystem affected. All of us are ecosystem. Dharma protect you. We will make the whole planet flourish.
This glorious Hindu civilization went through unprecedented persecution over millennia. The first phase is by the Islamic invaders starting from 800 to 1700 AD, where the physical destruction of Hindu civilization happened. Glee and pride, the slaughters of Hindus, forced conversions, abduction of Hindu women and children to slave the markets, and the destruction of temples carried out by the warriors. Overall, 200 million Hindus were slaughtered by Muslim invaders, 100,000 temples were destroyed, one prison with them, and converted the prisoners into obsequious Turks. The rape of infidels, which means the non-believers of Islam, upon receiving the call to convert to Islam, neither consent to it or agree to pay taxation. It is then incumbent on all the Muslims to call upon the God for assistance and make a war upon them, because God is the assistance of those who serve him, and destroyer, unbeliever of this religion. If he says no to conversion, or if he says no to pay taxes with all the manner of warlike engines, and must do set fire to their inhabitants, and must inundate with water and tear up their plantations and tread down their grain, because by these means they will become weakened, and forcing that person to convert into the respective religion. Rape of a continent. Abdullah Wasaf, describing the Islamic law prescribed for Hindus as converted to allow them out, the Hindu should wide open it for that purpose. God created the Hindus to be the slave of the Mohammedans. The Prophet had already. So you can see the hatred is being spread systematically, and it is also sanctified. The rape of a continent. Mohammedan Qasim Hindu Shah Firista. He says that the Raja of Nagarkota, after sustaining some loss, submitted but was restored pieces of cow's flesh, filled bags with them, and caused them to be tied around the necks of Brahmins, who were then paraded through the camp. It is said also that he sent the image of Naushaba to Mecca, Katkar. There, on the stakes they had carried, the prisoners were impaled. Afterwards, their wives were killed and tied by their hair to these pails. Little children were massacred on the bosoms of their mothers and their corpses left there. The Will Turan, the same celebrated historian who made a comment on the Islamic movement in India, he also told that I have seen great people starving to death before my eyes, and I am convinced that this. You can see the pictures of people, Indians especially and Hindus especially, who were forced starved for over 200 years. 45 million Hindus were dead due to famines and poverty imposed by British policy and repressive killing, looting and destruction reduced it to a poster child of a third world poverty. Next, we have civilizing mission, even though it was a mere cover for the racial oppression and economic exploitation. Do you not see then, by following these studies, you are walking in the very path through which England boasts her wealth, the glorious work which God sees of intense racial hatred towards Hindus. Hindus are full of dissimulation and falsehood, the universal concomitants of oppression universe than what is being presented in the writings of the Hindus. Very few words are required, especially regarding Islam, because the superiority of the Mohammedans in respect to religion is beyond all dispute. In truth, the Hindus like the eunuch ethnic cleansing in Goa. The fathers of the church forbade the Hindus under terrible penalties the use of their own sacred books and prevented them from and were liable to imprisonment, torture, and death if they worshipped after their own fashion the gods of their fathers. Colonial divide and rule was an old Roman maxim, and it shall be ours, wrote Lord Elphinstone. A systematic policy of fomenting separate consciousness among the two communities was launched over the British response, become slaves in their own homelands. The discriminatory laws to instill feelings of racial inferiority engineered famines to starve natives into submission, and banned Indians from owning or producing the firearms. Now let us look into how did they engineer famines to split the spirit of the people. Winston Churchill, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, he says, recently in Bengal, 1943, Indians were forced to eat leaves, grass, and even human flesh for that matter, and parents threw their starving children into the river and wells, whilst others committed suicide. India was the world's leading textile manufacturer and produced the finest fabrics. The British engaged in a systematic campaign to destroy the local handloom industry through harsh taxation and export policies that forced Hindus to import British-made textiles. They destroyed the local industry to ensure the dependence and poverty. By 1878, Indian Railways mechanics in Jamalpur in Bengal and Ajmer in Rajputana had become so proficient at maintaining the locomotive's economic dependence on their colonial masters and destroy the native technological know-how. Seizure, taxation, and the ruin of Hindu temples. It was strange but determined piece of policy when throughout the country tripity or on a gradual decline and will die in the lapse of years a natural death. Some of the most celebrated temples in the country are worse off, but restricted to high caste Hindus. But their own surveys revealed that every village had at least one school, and the Sudras and other low caste children constituted 70 to 84% of the students. In contrast, a century of direct British misrule of India, men in blood and color, but English in taste and opinion, in moral and in intellect. To that class, we may leave it to refine the vernacular. Despite their best efforts to adopt the English language, clothing and mannerisms, the anglicized brown British native clerks converting the native Hindu Rajas into proper British gentlemen. Sorry for the technical glitch. The colonial subjugation, converting the native Hindu Rajas into proper British gentlemen. Concerned at the rising awareness of nationalism after the Indian Mutiny of 1857, the British realized education of 1837 to create a class of people who are Indian in blood and color, but English in opinions, in morals, and in intellect. That became the cornerstone of their strategy. Now let's look at the idea of civilized living. Their idea of civilized living, it is not even the idea of civilized living. They targeted populations such as sadhus, sannyasis, tribals, nomads, gypsies, and sudras. They were presumed guilty by violence and given tattoos to stigmatize them and make them easier to track. Criminalizing the indigenous offered the human sacrifices to the wicked and fearsome goddess Kali. The image of Thuggees was promoted worldwide as an example that it was something which is very wrong with India. In addition to denigrating the Hindu culture, where the Hindu temples were looted and neglected. Post-independence, the Indian state continued the British policy of taxing and managing the wealth and properties of all the major Hindu temples, despite claiming to be the secular state. Their government, even the daily rituals are not performed. Some temples remain closed throughout the day with no one to even light the lamps. Are worshipped as the Sabarimala in Naishtika Brahmachari as strict celibate. As such, women of reproductive age are forbidden to enter the temple out of respect for Ayyappa and to maintain the sanctity of the spiritual ecosystem. Otherwise, in almost 1,000 other reasons for spiritual ecosystem present in Sabarimala temple. Scriptures and oral tradition explain that the celibate male energy present in Sabarimala is actually harm to the female fertile body. Anti-Hindu social activists for years as part of their broader campaign to delegitimize Hindus as sexist and patriarchal. Position is being destroyed. So you can see openly it is a statement made by somebody in the government that is so anti-Hindu, like so much of religious intolerance is inculcated to Hindus in the recent times. Since 1991, a group of activist lawyers have sought to force the Sabarime as be required. Such propaganda is generally intended to demoralize the enemy, to break his will to fight or resist, and sometimes to render him favorably. The secular India in which the media narratives used to stereotype and demoralize the Hindus. Bollywood and many other mainstream media outlets consistently portray Hindu gods and gurus as cartoonish, dishonest, corrupt sex freaks in a manner similar to British imperial. The relentless campaign of psychological warfare waged on Hindu minds by the British and their brown successors post-independence have resulted in a Hindu population that is deemed former British masters. A 2014 marketing study found that about 90% of Indian girls cite their skin lightening as a highest need. So far we have seen how the British invaders, then the third phase in which in the secular India, where the new Hindutva groups and the anti-Hindu forces openly challenge anybody who ancient sciences of Hinduism as per its original authenticity, as revealed by Paramashivoham in reviving the Sanatana Hindu Dharma. He is the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, and his community went through unprecedented persecution for some of the some of the important contributions of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism in combating the ongoing pandemic and how he has opened his homes of Kailasa despite he being persecuted.
Literally enlightenment itself in your own home, wherever you are. If you cannot come to Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. I will revive Hinduism. I am a Hindu revivalist, not and setting model community. All powerful cognition, knowledge, only when you live, power manifestation and possibilities manifestation happen. Ecosystem. So don't keep quiet thinking that if one sampradaya is attacked, only that sampradaya is going to be affected. Hinduism, by the principle of dharmo rakshati rakshitaha. When you protect dharma,
Welcome back. And now, as we shared at the start of this segment, we will go over the recognition that Hindu Pacific report on the prevention of femicide has been published on the website. What does this report detail about? Let us take a look. The human rights situation if gender-based harassment, female infanticide happen unabated in India. As Bhagwan said, the erosion of the true Hindu values has resulted in the destruction of the entire social fabric. Very concerning statistic for a nation which is, for Bharat, which is known to be proud for the position that it has always given women. According to the National Crimes Records Bureau, the rape of minor girls increased by 82% in the year 2016. Militant elements at the highest levels of governance. This weaponization of sexual violence targeting women and children is part of a more pervasive and systematic campaign targeting certain indigenous spiritual traditions, minority targeted for extermination by the new Hindutva extremist militants is the Hindu Adishaiva minority tradition in India. The extremist militants are the ones who, the extremist militant elements are opposed to ASMT's stance when it comes to the rights of women, including otherwise marginalized Dalit women, the rights of the members of the LGBTQ+ and transgender communities. The new Hindutva terrorists despise immoral. The ASMT freely ordains women into sannyas, recognizes 11 genders, and performs specific temple rituals for even gay marriage, as per more than 5,000-year-old indigenous.
In the last decade, especially in India, there has been an alarming trend in the mainstream media and the social media of sensational screening and manufacture of misinformation and hate sensationally broadcasted by the Sun TV and various media channels to defame her character and to delegitimize her guru, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Papers with vulgar captions, The media published fake interviews of the ASMT actress Ranjita for defaming her. Nakir and Gopal and other media heads pressurized Ranjita to commit suicide. ASMT female monks, but the most vulnerable target of this persecution are the ASMT girls and the female children. To 57 months of imprisonment, this did not damage the remedy. The child rapist filed several vexatious litigations in India and US. Now, however, the neo-Hindutva media ran 14,000 hours of hateful programs marginalizing the ASMT child rape victim, ASMT actress Ranjita, ASMT, and the Sin Swamis, Hindu monks and nuns. Several media houses continue to publish such defamatory articles, causing marginalization of the ASMT community, especially women and the girls, dangerously inciting mob violence and rape against them. Massive influence on the masses and even the court judges. The media is easily able to sway public opinion and even sway the opinion of the judges. Sadly, there is massive influence on the masses and even the court judges. The media is easily able to sway the public opinion and even sway the opinion of the judges. In a court proceedings directly involving the ASMT, the honors the court orders without any consequence. Therefore, there is no legal recourse that is available for India. Forums for several years. Although the courts ordered in her favor, restraining the misinformation and telecast of the fabricated deepfake videos, the neo-Hindutva media kept pushing the implementation of the order of various quasi-legal institutions and kept re-uploading, re-telecasting the same abusive footage and continued the misinformation propaganda to date. Any complaint on the media in the High Court is redirected to NBSA, The NBSA, which is a self-regulatory body, is a toothless and is known to disregard its own guidelines and orders, even when the member channels ridicule and shame dead celebrities. To the ASMT leader, the supreme pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, of raping his own biological mother, ASMT women, especially the nuns and the children, who are subject to this media persecution. The Indian media kept targeting the ASMT community. This is the largest penalty against any Indian media. This did not remedy the damage as the other media channels and journalists continued the smear campaign. On 2nd of March 2010, the sensational and repeated screening of the fabricated deed and the neo-Hindutva terrorist. On 7th of June 2012, Bengaluru, neo-Hindutva militants attacked on the ASMT monastery. Several ASMT nuns were raped. The Chief Minister of Karnataka supported children in the ASMT school, which is Gurukul. The interrogation was done without the consent of the parents, with no video recording of the examiners. Late night beyond the community. The lawyer of the school was sued by the state for intervening in the violations of the rights of the children and the parents. Such raids were conducted by the state and many other vexational militant. On 18th of January 2018, the young female nun, Nithyananda, received death threats over phone for voicing out against defamatory sexualization of Hindu female saint Andal by politically owned media. Several obscene morphed videos depicting Nithyananda studying there. The CWC officials were pulled up by the parents of these children in the High Court. The police complaint against the state authorities were closed without investigation, and the petition to the court was forced to be withdrawn by the court. Such targeted persecution of Hindu nuns and female religious leaders is not limited to ASMT, but aimed at destroying the rights of the indigenous female spiritual leaders. So, community, which revived the legitimacy of Sanatana Hindu Dharma more than 26 years, and how especially the female monks and the children of the asymmetry community is targeted by the So now we will be entering into the celebrations of
What I mean by the word Kailasa, Kailasa, it's okay. Kailasa can come to you. Kailasa coming to you is Kailasa.
Everyone who is participating in this puja to come and settle down.